that you sort of get from a lot of people who are coming out is particularly interesting as sort of, I guess it's a hope that of a changed, to Rick's point, tone and obviously policies as well.
Go ahead.
I think policy is going to be hugely important, but tone, I think, and Van talked about this so eloquently earlier, is the sort of sense of exhaustion and not having to wake up every day wondering what's going to happen because something's been tweeted that's so divisive, that somebody has been called a name. You know, this president has been calling Joe Biden all kinds of names throughout this, and that was sort of something you got used to in a way. And there was so much coming at people every day that what you may be seeing there is some sort of steam coming out of the teapot.
I just want to say, go ahead.
Just make one point on it.
At some point I want to talk.
You're speaking for people who, I hate to say it, are the elites in our culture.
Oh, please don't say that. I shouldn't have let you talk. Can I say something? You can insult us in a minute. I want to brag on these people for 1 second, if you don't mind, Senator, please.
Let me make a real quick point.
Okay.
When you talk about the president and how tough he is, and how you're talking to people who watch CNN, who watch the news,
it's not
who
true.
are constantly in there. Most people are living their lives and not really paying attention.
That's not true.
But he lost by 4 million votes.
Tone is not as important for them. Policies that affect their lives are more.
Of course, but
Rick, I'm going to talk. I don't like
And
that.
the discussion is
we're
weird.
going in the wrong direction. The tone mattered to my children. And my children are not elites. Listen, this was, I think the big mistake that the Trump administration made, for all the good that they did on criminal justice and opportunity zones and other stuff that I was proud of them for, is that they failed to understand that, yeah, actions speak louder than words if you're a normal person. But when you're the president of the United States, your words speak louder than your actions. And his words every day made America a nastier place and a more toxic place. And what you're seeing here is, this is not just coming for today. The politics of joy as a weapon. Groups like Sankofa, cultural groups, were going to the polls with music. They were going to the polls with entertainment.
Damn.
This was a part of the resistance, a beautiful part of the resistance. And I just want to say, you trying to cut me off? No. So I want to say that there are a couple of things to get us to unity. Tone is very, very important, because when people are just getting smashed upside the head, they can't think clearly. So that's got to go away. And then on the policy part, I think that anti-poverty, I think that criminal justice, mental health, addiction, infrastructure, family leave, there are economic policies that can bring us together. There's going to be some cultural war stuff that pulls us apart. But I think we have a responsibility to put forward those economic ideas and support this president.
David, do you expect to hear from Joe Biden today?
Yeah, Jeff said we won't hear from him until this evening when he speaks, and that's probably appropriate. You know, I think the reason they sent the messages out they did was as a placeholder until he speaks to the country. But I just wanted to Rick's point, I think you're wrong about this. I think there were some portion of people who agreed with Donald Trump on policy, but simply couldn't tolerate the way he behaved and the way he treated people. Gloria used the word exhaustion. I heard that word, in focus groups, and I just heard it used so often. It was a chore, because you had to wake up every day wondering about the tweet or the tantrum or the fight that was going to happen that day. And it was wearing on people. And even some people who were inclined to support Donald Trump on policy just could not tolerate it.
I agree with that. I'm not arguing with that. I talk about that a lot here. I guess.
But it wasn't just the elites. All I want to say is you got people who were working in restaurants, people who were working in hair salons, who the tone would affect them. It would come into their lives, not just the elites.
I guess my point is that the vast majority of Americans don't wake up every day listening to what the president has to say. That's my point. And
it was inescapable.
That the people here represented on this panel, we listen to the president every day, and we're skewed by that because most Americans don't. And I'm just saying, most Americans are much more concerned, not that they liked what the president said. I'm not saying they liked what the president was saying, but I'm saying that they're less concerned about that than they are about the policies that happen.
It's a profound misunderstanding on your own later, just in terms of what you expect to see happening today from Biden, from Kamala Harris.
I think that they've gotten a head start. They've been involved in transition work for quite some time. I don't know whether he's going to announce who's going to be in his. Oh, I just am hearing from somebody on the campaign. Hold on. I'd asked about what they were going to do in the transition, and I was told, kind of excited right now. We'll get back to you. So I think Biden knows on his major positions.
If we type something in YouTube, it should work as well.
It's also a remarkable moment. I mean, just to the sentiment that person you're talking to on the campaign expressed, for a campaign which really was not a campaign in any traditional sense that we are used to, and was also such a gamble in terms of choosing not to have people going out knocking door to door, and not to have the candidate out there, and to see President Trump out there and still resist that.
Look, I think it goes further back than that. I think it goes to the beginning of the campaign. They had an inspiration, and their inspiration was that the country wanted what Biden was. The country wanted to be healed. They wanted to fire Donald Trump. That he was the counterpart to that. That was right, and many of us sat on this panel and other panels over the primary campaigns when he was in some degree of distress, wondering if it would happen, because he was the perfect candidate for the emerging Democratic electorate. And it wasn't clear he could survive it. But what became clear in the general election, and particularly when the virus struck, was that those qualities of Biden were most resonant. And the decision not to do the rallies, and the decision, I think they paid some price for it, actually. But the symbolism of not doing it, the symbolism of him treating it seriously, I think ultimately netted out for them.
And don't forget, one of Biden's top advisors is Ron Klain, who was the Ebola czar. Ron Klain could well be the next chief of staff. And they were getting their guidance not only from doctors, but from Ron, who had been through an awful lot of this with infectious disease. And I think it was a risk, but it also provided this different view from Donald Trump that people could watch. And I think that became important because Biden was listening to science and Donald Trump was listening to, I don't know, Scott Adams.
Okay.
To Jake in Wolf in Washington. Jake?
So as I'm concerned, it works. Like I'm using Restream right now, so that I'm able to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
Relief. A lot of this is not, oh great, now the minimum wage will go up to $15 an hour, which you probably won't.
And it seems to work, so
a lot of this is
that's
not
really nice.
necessarily about the Green New Deal. A lot of this is, I'm not going to have a president much longer who dislikes immigrants or says things that are racist
or doesn't believe in science,
or isn't doing everything he can do to try to protect us from the virus.
Look at all of these young people. I mean, they're in the streets. We were just showing what is now Black Lives Matter Plaza. We are watching the continuation of what began over the summer of an enormous amount of activism.
Today I'm gonna be more quiet.
Showing up in
I just want to listen to the CNN live stream.
same people who came out to say, we want things to change. And there's been so much talk about whether there is enthusiasm for Joe Biden or more enthusiasm for Donald Trump. What you're seeing is, yes, relief, but enthusiasm for a new day, a change, and a change particularly for young people who, it's not, as Rick Santorum was saying, just about change. They do care about policy. They
easy.
believe in science.
I just wasted my ultimate.
That climate change is an
I push them into the water, they die instantly. They can't swim.
That is about policy.
Not one mob can swim.
It's like a pressure valve is being released slowly across these cities. And I say cities on purpose because this is where this is happening in the largely Democratic places. But I think Senator Santorum has done us a tremendous service in walking us through what's going on, particularly in Pennsylvania, where he.
I just teleported to this teleport point, and
it's not about being
getting tagged. That makes no sense.
And not about beliefs. This is about
I haven't been here in a while.
Wow. And for a lot of people, about their children and wanting their children to feel comfortable with having the president as a role model.
And I want to say, we need to, as we watch these scenes of celebration, pardon me,
But thank God Biden
wearing masks.
won.
Exactly.
And
For
mostly
real.
wearing masks. They are not socially distancing.
Fuck
I
Trump.
hate to be a scold here, but we just had the highest day of infections in the United States. I believe yesterday was 125,000 Americans with
425,000.
That was the third straight day of more than 100,000
In one day.
infections. It's good to see people wearing masks, although for some of them they're slipping off their face. People also need to
Like, really, come on, guys, wake up.
distance themselves, and the masks are significant, though. I mean, they are the thing that doctors say is the most important.
But I can see Sanjay Gupta having a lot of heartburn right now.
Yeah, there are a lot of public health officials watching this right now and feeling concerned because of the crowds. But again, at least they are wearing masks. It also underscores another reason why people are happy with this victory is because President Trump surrendered to the virus. I mean, like we praised him on the show for Operation Warp Speed, looking for a vaccine, and for the sped up approval process when it comes to therapeutics. But when it came to trying to control the infection, he gave up, and he led the charge against it. And you were talking about all the people who are out there for policy reasons. They want criminal justice reform. They want the Green New Deal, or at least some effort to combat climate change. And I don't disagree with that at all. But I think sometimes it's also just more basic. The number one job of a president is to protect the American people when it comes to the
Why you have to bring that shit up? I hate those guys.
Unite the American people. It would be nice if that was a job.
I really do hate them.
Conquer. After George Floyd was
They just hurt.
By police, there was the moment there where it looked like President Trump got it. That moment quickly.
As soon as the sheet is down, it's okay. But beforehand,
of the dead, smears of George Floyd, and I think that's also part of what we can do, right? I mean, like, people can be out there celebrating for any number of reasons, but like we have, we're in the middle of the pandemic.
Decided by destiny.
We're in the middle of a time of racial injustice and reconciliation, and the president didn't leave. These people want someone who will, and whether or not that's Joe Biden, they know it wasn't Joe Biden.
Yeah, and the fact that you rightly pointed out that what we're seeing is the safest thing in the world for people to be out there. It is great that they're wearing masks, but the fact that we are seeing people in 2020 in the streets almost all masked is such a stark illustration of the task that Joe Biden has ahead of him. That, yes, he has been preparing, he has been getting briefings even this week as he waited for the results of this election.
Some salt.
But having a plan
Alles
and
gut bei dir?
executing it are two very, very different things. But one of the reasons why he got the nomination and ultimately won the presidency, I firmly believe, is because he actually
Hast du gesehen, dass Biden gewonnen hat?
Of taking the government and all of the parts of the government and using it to create a program and a plan to address this thing in a way that, frankly, yes, President Trump was on it on the therapeutics, has been on it
Biden hat
for
gewonnen.
vaccines, and Joe Biden and the
Theorie
American people
wovon?
are likely going to benefit from that. But the fact that the president refused to wear masks, refused to tell people to do so while we wait for those remedies is something that will never get
Scheiße. Von zu Hause aus online, oder wie?
Led the charge against it. He held super spreader events all over the country.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a transition. Like,
Ach du Scheiße. Ja, so. Jetzt weißt du, wie es mir in der Uni ging, wo ich 5 Stunden. Nee. 8 Stunden einmal. Also, am Stück hatte. So ein Scheiß.
Orders given. Orders received.
But I do want to raise one thing that just is coming up here.
Don't waste my time.
Ja. Warte mal, bis du in der Uni bist. Ich hatte Professoren. Also 97 Folien in 5 Stunden ist sehr wenig. In der Uni hatten wir Professoren, die haben 140 in 90 Minuten durchgezogen. Die waren mehr on Crack als andere.
Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, just tweeted out a photo of the two of them. This is happening on a Saturday midday, so they're in casual clothes going about their lives. but he is now
Und Ida ist bei
about
euch
to
noch?
be the first, second husband of the United States, second gentleman of the United States.
Die nächsten 6... Oh, scheiße.
Second dude of the United States.
Wofür? Einfach für... Also warum genau? Muss man mal auch nicht zeigen, dass ich gerade mit Kamera streame. Also wenn sie kommt, einfach... Ja. Wir wissen beide, wie sie reagieren würde, ne?
Is I think something really extraordinary that this country has not seen, but it will reflect actually I think a real reality for so many Americans who are blended families.
Diskussion mit ihr habe ich nicht unbedingt Lust.
And you know, you're seeing a little bit of that.
Yeah, and I actually when I interviewed the now Vice President-elect last month, I think it was, we talked about that about the fact that
Können auch gerne richtig spielen mit.
And she came into her stepchildren's life midstream. They were teenagers. Which is not easy.
Ja, was soll ich dazu sagen?
And has established a relationship with them, and also with her
Kann nur sagen, dass das scheiße ist.
which is a modern family, which is actually happening more across the country than people realize, and that representation is going to be happening at the highest office in the land. And you know, people relate to their leaders, not just on a policy level, not just in terms of character, but also on a kind of an emotional level, and that is a new phenomenon that people will be able to see.
And can I just say one more thing about Senator Kamala Harris? And people can have policy disagreements with her, people can have political disagreements with her, whatever, that's all fair game. There was an attempt by a lot of people on the right to smear her person, go after her personal life.
Sie sind ja... Spiel gefällt dir echt, ne?
Sexist tropes and words to attack her. I mean, people like
Haben Sie ein paar Bugs, Bo?
plenty of Republicans out there, Republican officials and Republican party operatives, just with the most disgusting and sexist smears.
Das ist Formel 1, natürlich.
Which are, I know you guys are not unused to that sort of attack because you're prominent females in an era of social media, but it is absolutely
toll. Wie lange ist das Game jetzt schon draußen? Sie ist von EA, oder?
It looks like, I mean, at least in terms of the election results, but it is time for that to go.
And this is going to sound so, you know, maybe you'll be surprised by this, but I just have been dying to say this. You know what I loved about 2020 and watching all these women run? You know what we didn't hear anything about? We didn't hear anything about what they were wearing. Nothing. It's all we heard about.
Codemaster doesn't say
anything.
anything.
It was nothing about it. It was about...
Aber ja, Bayern hat gewonnen. Endlich, ey. Endlich, endlich. Kann es sein, dass vielleicht Codemasters entwickelt hat, aber EA das published?
I do think
like Biden's aviators.
Right, it's like Biden's aviators. I mean, I do think, or Hillary Clinton's pantsuits to a certain extent. She was able to sort of take something that had been used against her and turn it into something that she defined for herself. But Jake, you're so
Guck ich mir
right.
nachher an, ja?
In this country, we have gotten so normalized to sexism just being a thing and turn it into something that she defined for herself. But Jake, you're so right that in this country we have gotten so normalized to sexism just being a thing that we just have to internalize and accept. And that,
es wird extra gesagt Codemasters, wenn du auf Amazon guckst, extra Codemasters.
To a different standard, even holding black
Es gibt eine Schuhmacher Deluxe Edition.
We don't have to accept that. Other developed countries in the world have elected women leaders at the highest levels, and we are to a different standard, even holding black women to a different standard. We don't have to accept that. Other developed countries in the world have elected
CA,
leaders at the highest levels, and we are behind the curve. And I do think that we should acknowledge that this is one step in the right direction, but we have a long way to go on that.
It is absolute garbage.
Makes his first address to Congress. Generally, when a president-elect speaks, it's not a State of the Union, it's an address, but it's the same imagery.
Absolute garbage.
Joe Biden, and then you're going to have two women behind him for the first time in history. The Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and the Vice President, Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And that's a step forward.
Joe Biden, and then you're going to have 2 women behind him for the first time in history.
Formula Uno. Wenn ich in Berlin bin, können wir es ja mal spielen.
Joe, you're going to be the next president of the United States. So that is something that, you know, was a moment of history as well. We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States. So that is something that, you know, was a moment of history as well. And for the first campaign that I can recall coming on social media, on Twitter, sharing that, as we can see right there. In casual clothes, as Abby was saying earlier, Senator Harris was out with her husband for a morning walk, as they often do, and giving him that phone call there. And Jake, as we see cheering and you know, signs of elation from Democrats at least, and maybe some independents across the country, we're also hearing those horns honking here in Wilmington, and a crowd is gathered here as well. A bit of history in Wilmington as well. Jake, it was 48 the country. We're also hearing those horns honking.
No, I'm not gonna bother with that. The CNN live stream fails.
It's a rare woman campaign manager. I believe only the second woman to have a winning presidential campaign. At first, Kellyanne Conway was for President Trump 4 years ago. She was out for a run this morning when she heard the news. Her mother called her and said CNN has projected Joe Biden as the winner of the presidency. She was coming into the hotel, you can see behind me here. She said she was ecstatic over this, about running this winning campaign during a time of a pandemic when many questioned the Biden campaign's approach here to going all virtual. So that is just a bit of color here from Wilmington, Jake.
So the last 2 presidents have been elected with female campaign managers. Maybe something for politicians to think about. Kellyanne Conway and now Jen O'Malley Dillon. There's a different story going
challenge.
on right now. At the White House. Let's go to Jim Acosta, where President Trump is. I don't know if he's heard the news yet. Last I heard, he was out golfing.
To ashes!
Yeah, Jake, I can tell you, standing here in the White House grounds right now, we can hear the cheers coming from outside the White House grounds in all directions. And the president is not here right now to listen to those cheers. He's out on the golf course right now. You're looking at what we believe to be some live pictures of the Trump golf course out in Virginia. He's out there today. But I can tell you, the president has reacted. People inside the campaign have reacted. And what we're hearing, first of all, the president is saying in a statement, I'm not going to read it to you because it's full of false information, but the president is saying in a statement he's not going to accept the results of this election right now, that the legal challenges are going to proceed starting on Monday. But I talked to sources inside and outside the campaign, and they say don't expect the president to accept the reality of this anytime soon. Don't expect him to concede
now it's the question
race.
if Biden,
and just as we heard the president complain about fake news and fake polls,
doing a better job than Trump shouldn't be that hard.
He's now complaining about fake election results,
Really not.
And he is in fact the one spreading fake news right now. But Jake, no further reaction from the president.
Really not. Shouldn't be that hard.
But I can just tell you, standing here on the White House grounds, it's an extraordinary thing to listen to the cheers and the jubilation coming in from all directions. It's not just Black Lives Matter Plaza. It's coming from 17th Street on the west side of the White House grounds, 15th Street on the east side of the White House grounds. Jake, you know this territory very well. it is not often in the nation's capital when you hear these kinds of cheers just erupting from all sides of the White House. And it's an extraordinary thing, and obviously the cheers are not for the 45th president, they're for the 46th president. Jake.
Yeah, but I think, as I said, shouldn't be too hard doing a better job than Trump, should it? I actually don't know.
For a bit now that we were going to make this projection.
But man, we in Germany are relieved.
And we wanted to be clear. It is,
for real,
I don't know, symbolic that President Trump, who has golfed more than I think any president in modern American history as president, despite saying when Barack Obama did it that he would never do such a thing.
And there you see, something is wrong. If we in Germany are so relieved about the outturn of the US election, something's wrong.
That city's, it's going to be off the hook in Atlanta tonight.
So speaking of President Trump, I've been thinking about this,
I don't care, man.
You know, for the past 4 days, as
Defeat the ditches as requested.
To this point, and as it's becoming more clear that.
Why does it have to be so far away?
What I was thinking about is that in my 20
Come on,
years
dude.
covering presidential campaigns, the moment
that,
that
dude?
stands out the
Pavel.
most to me, that I will remember forever.
Okay,
was
he
being
seems
in
shady.
Phoenix
I've never
on
seen him
November
before.
5th, 2008, when John McCain gave his concession speech, which was the best political speech I'd ever heard. And the reason
Can
why
we
it was
teleport
so
there?
powerful is because he said, "I urge
Nothing-
all Americans
there's
to
nothing
support
really
me
that
to
is
join me
closer.
not in just congratulating
So.
him, meaning President Obama, but offering
Doesn't
our
matter.
next president our goodwill and earnest effort to find ways
Doesn't matter.
to come together."
Yeah.
That was a remarkable moment, and it is not a moment I don't think any of us imagine that we will see. Let's hope. Hope springs eternal, but I don't think any of us is holding our breath, waiting for anything close to that, which is, this was extraordinary, but it is more typical to hear. Even 4 years
that
ago, Hillary Clinton
down there is a CD.
gave
I want that one.
a gracious acceptance, concession speech.
Yeah, that, I'll say it again, in this country, the expectation is that.
Na, das
what
dauert
John
noch.
McCain-
Das
John
dauert noch.
McCain did that because
Er wehrt sich gerade auch
that
noch,
would be written in the history books.
glaube ich. So leicht gibt er da nicht auf.
You know, your
Aber er hat
movie
keine andere Wahl.
Donald Trump about what to do, but I have to say, the president being on the golf course right now,
Er muss, sagen wir so, er muss.
that this is sort of staff
mein-
trying to give him
Ja, er
a
muss.
structure
Was soll ich
staff,
sagen?
right? You know, this
Ich
is where
hoffe
he
es.
goes
Ich hoffe
when
bloß dass nicht, dass er seinen 30% Rednecks in den USA sonst was zusagt, ne? Wie so ein Baby. Es wäre schon witzig, es wäre schon witzig. Aber gleichzeitig auch würde ich mal denken, so. Weißt du, mit denen 30% der Bevölkerung, die absolute Rednecks sind in den USA, von denen jeder eine Waffe haben darf, legally, und nicht nur eine und noch nicht nur eine Pistole. Wenn Trump da was Falsches tweetet, weil er eingeschnappt ist, hier.
Where do you, when you're president, it's how you act as president, but it's also what you do when your time is up. Going all the way back to George Washington. When your time is up,
Aber wäre schon witzig. Wenn er sich ja einfach auf den Boden setzt. Nein, ich will nicht. Nein. Das wäre witzig, das wäre wirklich witzig.
Donald Trump was brought up. He was brought up by a father who told him that you're either a fighter or you're a loser, and there's no one in between. And today he is a loser by definition. He is not going to go on for another term.
Kann er schon.
at the White House. One thing I will
Problem
say
ist
I've been
halt,
communicating with some people who are familiar with
die
the
Frage
things
ist
going
halt,
on in and
wenn er
around
jetzt das
him.
ganze Militär
We
hinter
talked
sich hätte,
earlier
ja,
about
könnte
the
er schon,
process.
aber
They think they
sind wir
have
mal
to
ehrlich.
get him through.
Ich weiß es nicht.
And I was
Ich glaube
told
nicht,
that
dass er
process
das
is
ganze
in
Militär hinter
motion.
sich hätte.
How long that process is
Oder
going
die
to take
Majority.
is the big question.
Look, it's not easy
No,
to lose a
it's not.
presidential
Möglich
election.
ist schon,
To
ja.
lose the White House.
Hillary Clinton
Jedem
or
Staat.
John McCain would talk about it.
Mir macht mehr Angst, dass selbst wenn er geht, die ganzen Rednecks, was die machen werden im Land. Es wird so viel Randale geben in den nächsten Tagen, glaube ich. Glaube ich. Weiß ich jetzt nicht, aber das ist halt irgendwie. Naja.
His minions, his lawyers, or start filing more frivolous lawsuits or whatever. It's over. The Trump era is over. Now maybe he'll remain as a force
Also,
in Republican politics. We'll
sagen wir
see.
so, ich glaube es
But his
nicht.
presidency is coming to a close.
Ich wäre aber auch nicht überrascht.
Jake, thanks very much. I want to talk with
Wirklich
former
nicht.
governor of
Ich würde
Ohio,
mich nicht.
John Kasich,
Wie gesagt, diese
joining us,
30% der US-Bevölkerung, wie viele sind das? Ja, einige. Wenn Trump da was Falsches tweetet, tja, bye bye. Aber du merkst, wie... Ja, zu viele, das ist das Problem, ja. Das ist das Problem. Zu viele von denen, die da, ja, mal so Gewehre kaufen gehen kann, weißt du? Naja. Gehen wir mal davon aus, dass es nicht passiert. Gehen wir mal davon aus. Also nicht.
I think that the other half of the country, in many respects, has felt as though they have not been listened to. They feel stuck economically, and it's going to be up to the Democrats to listen. Things like perhaps improving the earned income tax credit for working families, to think about what we can do to fix their schools, to think about what we can do to give them access to the internet. There's so many things that can be done to talk to that part of the country. And remember, this is broken down sort of, Anderson, as an urban and country division. And it isn't good enough to just declare a great victory. And I'm very pleased that Biden won. I put everything I had on the line in. Well, not everything, but a lot of
so random.
I'm pleased he's there. He needs to be a unifier, but we have to listen to what those folks, those Republicans, all across this country has had to say. And frankly, those Republicans have to understand what Democrats want to do, because if they want to improve health care, that doesn't mean they want Medicare for all. There is no socialism in Joe Biden. If all sides can begin to really listen and think, this country can be healed, in my opinion.
You know, both being a governor, but you know Washington well. Do you think that's possible? I mean, everybody always talks about healing, about coming together at election time. And obviously,
don't run away, man. Accept your fate. I mean, even though I think you're cute, but just accept your fate.
The best thing that's happened to Joe Biden is the fact that the United States Senate is either going to be Republican or very close, and it will allow Joe Biden to do what he does best. It allows him to govern as a moderate. It allows him to do the things that I've always hoped he
can I press it again?
And the far left can push him as hard as they want.
I can't. I thought I can press it again, maybe, and then...
That they almost cost him this election. That people in this country are basically center, center-right, center-left. They're not
several
far
options.
left, and they're also not far right. We got to hope that the far right will act responsibly now that this election is over. But do I think it's possible that you can get something done on climate? Yes. Is it going to be, you know, some new Green Deal? Of course not. But there's reasonable things that can be done. What can be done with taxes? Okay, if you're going to focus on any sort of a tax cut, it ought to be for the middle and the lower income people in this country. Are there things that can be done with infrastructure? For sure, but making sure broadband's available to everyone. I think those things can happen. Are there going to be fights?
Ooh.
But yeah,
Thank God the cinematic showed me this chest.
I've always said that this election in 2020 was not a big vote on ideology. This is sort of getting back to normal. The big debate will come in 2024, but that's a long way off. Yeah. Today's the day that Biden's been declared.
Why doesn't this work?
Well, Governor Kasich, what was it about
How
Joe
stupid
Biden
is that?
You felt he was the person for this moment?
As if you can't climb in this.
Well, I've known him a long time, and you know, just
What?
a couple years ago, he and I sat on a stage. He invited me to the University of Delaware, and we had a
Wait, that makes no sense.
time together, speaking publicly, and spent a lot
As
of
if you
time
can't climb.
publicly, and one of
Damn.
my dear
Okay.
friends was John McCain.
I guess.
one of his best friends, and
Nah, man,
I know what the guy's all about.
that's confusing me right now.
When I say a throwback, I don't mean old. I mean a return to the fact that we need to communicate. We need to
I'm
be patient,
confused.
We don't need to demonize
As if you
our
can't.
opponents, figure out a way
No,
to
no, 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 no. Don't tell me. Nah, it couldn't be that you need the Geo
So I
MC.
think actually he's in a better
Okay.
position today because being pulled from the left isn't going to work. They will not get those things
Wait.
done. And that congresswoman from Virginia
Is that a
warned the
secret?
Democrats. You want to talk about defunding the police?
I mean,
You'll
I've
have
done
those
this dungeon
support.
before,
And I
but
think
I've never
is an
seen this
opportunity
chest, to be
for
honest.
Biden to talk about, you know, the center right and the center left of this country and what can be achieved.
I
We have
am so
enormous problems
confused.
with debt, Social Security, Medicare, healthcare.
How are you supposed?
You know, this campaign was unlike obviously any we have seen before.
Sometimes
the turnout was unlike
you
any,
have to go through the
we have
wall
seen before
with
as
your head.
well. When
That's all.
did you worry that,
Sometimes
you know,
that's
the
what works.
decisions that the Biden-Harris ticket.
It is how it
made
is.
To keep
It
him,
is how it
somewhat,
is.
to keep him off the trail, to not have large crowds gathering, to not be knocking on doors for months as the other campaign was doing. Did you worry that might make it impossible for him to get elected?
Well, I felt that age was a factor, and I know there are some people who voted for Donald Trump because they were worried about Biden's age. But what I was more concerned about, Anderson, was the fact that they did not come out early and talk about the violence in cities. They waited too long on that. They did not, in clear terms, reject really clear terms the defunding of the police, and very clearly say, are you kidding me? I'm an American. I don't favor socialism.
There's a chest behind there, I guess.
I think that perhaps he would have done better. But look, he's won. And,
a common chest.
It makes all the difference in the
Hell
world.
no. I don't need the common chest.
Probably learned from this. One other thing. One
like, what the fuck?
told me at some point, if they'd have been more clear in rejecting the hard left, they would have appealed more to Americans who I believe essentially live in the middle. That's where Americans are. And by the way, you can't take care of one group over another. If you're going to cut taxes for those at the top, you've got to make sure that those who are the hardworking people in the middle and the bottom, that they get relief. It has to be a balanced program where everybody feels as though they can be included, Anderson. That is what success is in politics. And forget the popularity and all the what party you belong to. Do what makes sense.
Auf keiner Seite.
Ben, I heard you,
Also, natürlich können...
I heard you sort of agreeing with the governor when talking about reaching out to Republicans or listening to Republicans.
Theoretisch auf keiner Seite. Natürlich dürfen Soldaten auch wählen, aber offiziell darf das Militär keine Position beziehen.
There's some stuff that's going to be battleground issues. You're talking about, immigrant rights and religious freedom for Muslims. Those are battleground issues, and we can't give an inch on that. But there's been some common ground issues, whether you're talking about addiction and the opioid crisis, whether you're talking about opportunity zones, anti-poverty, whether you're talking about criminal justice, where I thought there was more room for us to work together than people were recognizing. I think that the grace that, frankly, had not been shown the past 4 years, we need to start showing right now. We know what it feels like to feel like the president's not on your side and to want the president to send you some signals. There's a danger that we might start saying, well, don't send any signals to those guys. They were mean to us. I don't want us to become what we're fighting. I don't want us to feed what we're fighting. I believe that Joe Biden is correct. If we reset this conversation, there is
offiziell darf es auf keiner Seite
you got people you got a bunch of older, white, heterosexual guys who are some of the best people in the
Trump
country.
ist der Oberbefehlshaber.
They know a trade. They raised a family. They started a business. We need those guys to help rebuild this country. And they need to know that we respect them. They voted against us, that's fine. Vote against us again. But we need you. We need you to help us rebuild this country. We got kids in this country who need your example. If we start talking that way, I think we can get past some of these fears. And if we don't, we're going to be in another loop and another loop and another loop.
I'm just wondering, Glor, when you see these pictures,
I think it's
aber die werden ihre Instanzen haben. Also, so leicht wird es nicht sein.
Those people are relieved. I think the challenges are obvious. We've all been talking about the challenges. But one thing is that they believe that Joe Biden...
I love main characters. He is so cool.
...change the way they feel and the way life is. And another thing I want to say, given all the... We're talking about will he be able to work with the Republicans? Will he be able to work with the liberals? The difference with Joe Biden is that when he tells you something, he is telling you the truth. And I know, Rick, that you know Biden, and he can talk a lot and get on people's nerves and all the rest, and you can talk about that. But he's a man who's devoted his life to public service, and he is a man who is known as somebody who told you the truth when he was dealing with you, and that matters.
Well, he calls himself a transition.
Don't you go away.
And the question is, will it be a transition?
Sometimes these little things are just madness. They trick you and trick you. Oh, don't tell me he's up there. No.
Totally embrace what you said, Van. But what we have seen is an intention to weaponize our differences rather than search for common ground. and the political rewards have been there in the parties for that. You know, you can't in a democracy ever get 100% of what you want. And the question is, are you willing to take 80, or are you not going to take 80? And are you going to make the differences, you know, exploit the differences for your own political profit, or are you going to come together? And we'll see. I mean, that's
funktioniert bei dir Reddit da?
You know, in the fur.
It's also so. I mean, just again, we've just come through a campaign where on the Democratic side, you did not see large gatherings of people.
Right.
Obviously, during the protests this summer, there were large gatherings of people in the streets. But to see these crowds this morning, the diversity of the crowds, a lot of mask wearing, which is certainly a good thing. Obviously, not social distancing, and you know, over the last several days,
Gab es so dir gefallen?
because we've had this election, but you know, it bears repeating. We are in the midst of
this country's been a pressure cooker for the last 4 years. Donald Trump has had his hand on that dial, and this is a sense of relief there.
Totally.
And the great thing about it is, it's coming out in joy. And I use that word joy over and over again because that's like a word in the movement. The young people.
Aber auf Reddit
Adrian
findest du
Marie
Leute
Brown,
mit deinem Humor
who's this
auch,
young
ne?
kind of Instagram star who's been talking about this politics of joy. And these artists have been going out. Remember all those long lines? They're bringing the pizza. They're also bringing music. They're bringing dance. All these memes and stuff. They've created a basis of a positive culture. And so I think that that's good. And again, so you got to look for the good, look for the positive, look for the hope.
Die Sache, auf Reddit findest du einfach verschiedene Humorstile.
Let's build with those people and the people right now who are mourning. Let's make sure they know they've got to play. If you want, come out to the party.
Ah, okay.
Come out to the party. This is about America. It's not about versus Trump. It's about
Vergessen,
America.
stimmt, sorry.
I'm sure Joe Biden loves seeing this, but it was
Warum startest du nicht deine eigene,
celebrate
Nein!
apart rather than together right now.
Warum startest du nicht deine eigene Comedy-Show?
I think that, you know, that has
Up
been
there
his
Reddit, yeah.
message, and these are people who clearly want to celebrate, and they are masked, unseen, but, you know, who knows? They're close together. But there's a celebration going on. Change sometimes brings that out in you, and I think, look, if Donald Trump has won, his supporters will probably be celebrating too. I'm not,
Bist
you
jetzt
know, I'm not
enttäuscht?
saying that this belongs to one side or another, but
yeah, there would be the same sense of relief inside of his supporters, and the same sense of, you know, more truck possibilities.
There'll be more trucks because they have the trucks and the caravan stuff like that. But look, I just think, you know, so many people work so hard.
Du wusstest, dass es so oder so nicht dass er oder so ein Pleb ist, oder?
Campaign function really let a lot of people just kind of do their own thing. It wasn't a super top-down thing. You had Biden circle around him, moving him forward. But in a pandemic, you couldn't do it the normal way. So people just started creating their own stuff. There's a campaign called With Love that I was a part of.
Ich wollte noch Sub-Emotes. Ich habe die letzten Tage ausprobiert, halt auf Twitch zu streamen.
Jen O'Malley Dillon, the manager of this campaign, came in after the primary.
Auf YouTube zu streamen. Aber ich glaube, ich habe mal gelesen, auch mehrere Leute sagen, dass die Discoverability, also wie du entdeckt werden kannst, ist auf YouTube besser. Ja, aber es subscribt halt keiner, ne? Die Klicks sind gut, aber es subscribt keiner. Oh, kaum. Aber gut, das Problem ist halt, ich habe halt kein Konzept. Und warum solltest du zum Beispiel jetzt bei mir subscriben, wenn du dieselben Infos theoretisch auch bei größeren Channels kriegst? Sind wir mal ehrlich. Macht Sinn, oder?
Some credit.
Even Santorum's going to
But I'm just saying, taking Jim out. But Jim Clyburn reached out and said, look, this is our guy. Let's get around this guy. But that meant that from the very beginning, the campaign was a little bit different than a normal winning primary campaign. And it brought that spirit of
Aber die Klicks sind an sich ganz gut, ja, stimmt schon.
Yeah, they didn't sort of you know, go after every bright, shiny object, go after every tweet. They just kind of stayed on their message. They talked about COVID. They talked about health care, even when it came to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court nominee. They stuck to what they knew.
Message discipline from Joe Biden.
Message discipline from
Ich will den Dungeon machen.
Yeah, we should also talk about, I mean, this is probably impolitic to say, but the fact is there are a lot of people who are nervous.
Ja, was
I
gibt's?
wrote about what the campaign needed to be doing during the pandemic, because if the president had seized the platform and led the country through this pandemic in a way that broadens his base, that could be a problem. But what really happened was Biden was relatively quiet for many months, and the president had the stage to himself.
Ist jetzt richtig?
That turned out to be a plus for Biden.
Oh na, jetzt kommt er mir mit... Ah na, oh hell no. Da. Tu nicht so. Dein Deutsch ist garbage. Das ist die einzige Regel, die du kennst.
Jeb Bush, the former governor of Florida, and who ran for president and lost in the primary.
Soll ich mir 100 kommst du jetzt? Ich danke dir. Die ist verziehen nur. Absoluter Pleb.
A lovely statement from Jeb Bush. It would be nice if we heard similar
Absoluter Pleb.
Current Republican officer.
Dir ist verziehen worden. Danke, danke dir. Kleiner Bruder. Jetzt kommt's aber. Schreibst du so auch im Deutschunterricht?
I've prayed for our president most of my adult life.
Well, I'm sure he prayed for Donald Trump as well. There's no love lost there.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, obviously the goal of this tweet was to lead by example and to show what Trump looks like, which is frankly how the Bushes have historically seen this. His father, George H.W. Bush, was the last one-term president. There is no love lost, but that is somebody who is trying to kind of, you know, shout from the rooftops, please follow. I'm interested to see.
Willst du lieber den YouTube-Chat nutzen, oder?
Yeah, I'm curious about when.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of Republicans, let's be honest,
Weil
feel exactly the same way as Jeb Bush.
Livestreams, wenn sie guten Chatlauf haben etc. auf YouTube, schneller vorgeschlagen werden als auf Twitch.
I think you can do the job, and you know, and frankly, I'm okay with you doing the job. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were many sitting Republicans in the United States Senate who are looking at the situation and they're saying, you know, the chances of us holding on to the Senate are pretty good. They like that. They like having control, the reins of the pace of the judiciary. They like having a break.
Machst du?
For the Congress in general.
Ich nutze ja gerade in Stream-Software, die...
Who has given them a lot of heartburn over the last 4 years.
Ach so, das meinst du. Bei wem hast du Musik? Vielleicht kenne ich die noch. Gibt's ja Neuendorf noch?
Joe Biden's presidency, though they disagree, would be seen even, I think, in Congress as a relief for some.
Not being chased after in the hallways about every tweet that the leader of their party put out there is going to be a relief. Not to say that he's not tweeting, he's just not going to be...
Pontifex, uiuiui. Ich fühle mich geehrt, in deiner Anwesenheit zu sein.
Let's go outside the White House. President Trump, as far as we know, is still golfing. But outside the White House,
Ich dachte, ihr schreibt eine... Ich dachte eigentlich, ihr schreibt eine... Ich dachte eigentlich, ihr schreibt eine Musik und Klausur, nicht was anderes.
Calling the race for Biden. The crowd started flowing into this area of downtown D.C. Now, for folks who are not familiar with D.C., I want to sort of paint the picture. I'm standing at the corner of 8th Street and 6th Street Northwest, which was renamed Black Lives Matter Plaza. And so right behind me, you see crowds now
Black Lives Matter.
all the way down Black Lives Matter Plaza, chanting and cheering for Joe Biden. And that celebration has continued as we've been here. Folks cheering when the race was called, when some news organizations called the state of Nevada for Biden, then the chant started again. You have groups of gay rights, LGBTQ protesters and demonstrators, activists who are out here celebrating their victories. Trans people have been out here celebrating. You have a lot of women with veils, Muslims who are coming out here as a bridge to celebrate this victory for Joe Biden and what it means for them sort of in this transition. Some interesting chants as well.
Eine gute Note. Das ist von Sase schreiben.
Chanting for Stacey Abrams, celebrating the role that she has played in Georgia to help get Democrats in the forefront of this race and potentially flip that state. And so this crowd is growing by the second, and you can see it's hard for us to see where we're standing, but we can't even see the end of it on Black Lives Matter. The crowd stretches all the way down, and they continue to go, Jake. So I think we're going to see a lot more celebrations in the hours ahead.
That's right, a lot of celebrations in a spot where not long ago protesters were being gassed so that President Trump could walk to the church there. Vivian, why don't you walk around the crowd there a little bit if you can?
Hey,
let us
there's
see a little bit
strange
more.
Over there. Come on, let's take a look.
Our signal is very We'll try to walk around and take you through. Our signal is very fragile right now, but we're going to try to walk around and hopefully we don't lose you. But here we go. If we can take a little walk here.
And we hope that you don't use you.
A lot of signs about your you know, echoing President Trump's signature from his popular reality show. Hopefully you can see me every single time with you.
Whoa, der Livestream lag.
All right, yeah, we're losing this. We're losing the signal. Thank you so much.
We're losing you.
I appreciate it. Probably a lot of satellite action going on there right now.
A lot of people down there.
A lot of people down there. A lot of cell phones. I want to read some of the more some of the celebratory and congratulatory notes that are coming in. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and a close ally of President Trump, somebody kind of in the mold of President Trump.
Hey,
this is going to sting
strange
for President
over there.
Trump.
Come on,
sending
let's
a
take
note
a look.
saying congratulations to Joe Biden on his election as President of the United States and to Kamala Harris on her historic achievement. The U.S. is our most important ally, and I look forward to working closely together on our shared priorities from climate change to trade and security. That's going to leave a mark.
Yep.
And then former President Bill Clinton, less of a surprise. America has spoken, democracy has won. Now we have a president-elect and vice president-elect who will serve all of us and bring us all together. Congratulations to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on your momentous victory.
And Jake, you know, just in the last couple of days, our colleague Christina Alashi has been doing some reporting about what's going on in the business world and how they're looking at this period that could be actually quite unstable for the United States, in which you have a president-elect and a sitting president who may not concede, and they've made it very clear they're going to try to inch towards stability as much as possible, even to the point potentially of weighing in to say respect the results of the election.
So there's a new statement from Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States and the former boss of now President-elect Joe Biden, saying, "I could not be prouder to congratulate our next president, Joe Biden, and our next First Lady, Jill Biden. I also couldn't be prouder to congratulate Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff for Kamala's groundbreaking election as our next vice president. In this election, under circumstances never experienced, Americans turned out in numbers never seen." That's really such a good point. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and it was such a great turnout. "And once every vote is counted, President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris will have won a historic and decisive victory. We're fortunate that Joe's got what it takes to be president and already carries himself that way. Because when he walks into the White House in January, he'll face a series of extraordinary challenges no incoming president ever has: a raging pandemic, an unequal economy and justice system, a democracy at risk, and a climate in peril. I know he'll do the job with the best interests of every American at heart, whether or not he had their vote. So I encourage every American to give him a chance and lend him your support. The election results at every level show that the country remains deeply and bitterly divided. It will be up to not just Joe and Kamala, but each of us to do our part to reach out beyond our comfort zone, to listen to others, to lower the temperature and find some common ground from which to move forward. All of us remembering that we are one nation under God. Finally, I want to thank everyone who worked, organized, and volunteered for the Biden campaign, every American who got involved in their own way, and everybody who voted for the first time. Your efforts made a difference. Enjoy this moment. Then stay engaged.
Die Wahlbeteiligung war höher als jemals zuvor.
But for this democracy to endure, it requires our active citizenship and sustained focus on the issues not just in an election season, but all the days in between. Our democracy needs all of us more than ever, and Michelle and I look forward to supporting our next president and first lady however we can. A lovely and typical and characteristically expansive remarks from President Obama.
But that coming from a president who inherited the worst economic recession since the Great Depression says a lot.
Yeah.
And it's true. We've never had a pandemic like this in 100 years, and the economic fallout has been as significant. So he understands what that really is like, and it's worse now.
Ein Kackland, ein Kackland. I'm sorry, dass ich so sage, aber es ist halt einfach die Wahrheit.
As it is now politically.
It didn't feel it because we had just elected the nation's first black president.
Yeah.
It felt like the nation had come together in a lot of ways.
Rassistisches. Also, Gott sei Dank haben sie jetzt einen anderen Präsidenten, aber an sich ist das Land doch. Ah, da hinten ist noch ein Seeli. Ich mach gleich weiter.
Elected to the presidency. He did it 4 years ago for Hillary Clinton. In fact, he said, "This is personal for me," to people in the crowds, and it didn't work. This time it did. A lot of reasons for that, but in terms of President Obama, starting with the Democratic convention, he broke all protocols because he thought that President Trump broke all norms in a very dangerous way. And when I say broke protocols, he was so aggressive against President Trump, and he continued that on the stump in recent weeks.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if George W. Bush in 2012 had gone out on the stump. He didn't, and that's normally what presidents do is refrain. Barack Obama did not choose to do that.
Yeah, no, he didn't, and he had no choice. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he was as much a part of this campaign as Joe Biden was, because Donald Trump's presidency began about Barack Obama and who he was, and Donald Trump's presidency was in large part about the invalidation of the Obama era. And so this was not just about electing Joe Biden, but about preserving or restoring some of the things that he did as president that had been lost in a Donald Trump presidency. But I do want to refer to one thing that he talked about in his statement, which is the turnout in this election. Not as a political statement, but just as a statement of fact that when you let Americans vote, when you give them ways to vote, they will vote, and they do vote. And Republicans for many years
I don't give a fuck about the
have
ends
taken the
troubles.
opposite stance, trying
Es
to make it
leuchtet
more
da hinten
difficult
so.
for people to vote for a number of reasons. They say it's because of fraud.
I knew
But
it's a
I
chest.
think when you really talk to them
Oh.
privately, they acknowledge it's
Probably
because they're
brauchen wir den
concerned
Seeli da.
that there are not enough people who support their views who show up at the polls, and that it is a political strategy about raw power. But I do think that if there's one thing Donald Trump proved in this election, you can turn out Republicans too, if you give them a chance to vote. And so it's time that we as a country just do this fair and square. Let as many people vote as
Ich meine, da irgendwie, also schlechter den Job zu machen als Trump kann nicht so schwer sein, oder?
Millions of people voted by mail for Republicans, and as far as we can tell by the exit polls as they stand right now, Donald Trump appears to have increased the black support and Latino support for him from previous Republican presidents.
Das sind die Dümmsten.
Thanks, Jake, and I want to bring in the
Du bist Latino?
Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina.
Und du wählst für Trump.
Mr. Whip, you endorsed Joe Biden in the South Carolina.
Ja, lass mich wählen für die Person, die mich deportieren will. Ah, nicht im deutschen Sinne, aber die mich aus dem Land haben will. Smartest decision. Kann man so dumm sein? Weißt du, das sind diese Immigranten? Die sind früher hingeflüchtet. Und jetzt wollen sie aber nicht teilen, so. Die haben keinen Bock, dass ihre Verwandten kommen, weißt du? Dann müssen sie ja teilen. Latinos, die für Trump wählen, ist eigentlich ungeheuerlich.
And so I am pleased
Ja, ich brauche unbedingt Sub-Emotes. Aber ich bin mir halt noch nicht mal sicher, ob ich auf Twitch weiter streame oder auf YouTube ist. Geht auch, also mache ich ja gerade auch. Ja. Ist halt irgendwie nur doof, beides getrennt zu haben, weißt du? Also wie gesagt, der Vorteil von YouTube ist halt, dass du auf YouTube eventuell schneller entdeckt werden kannst. Auf Dingens hast du halt das Problem. Auf YouTube wirst du schneller entdeckt, eventuell von Leuten. Wegen des Algorithmus halt, wegen welche Tags du benutzt, wie der Chat läuft. Deshalb fragte ich eigentlich, ob du vielleicht auch auf YouTube den Chat nutzen kannst. Und hast aber die weniger gute Möglichkeit, Geld zu verdienen. Aber das ist mir ja jetzt gerade vollkommen egal, sowas. Ich meine, ich werde so oder so kein Geld mit Twitch verdienen. Später möchte ich sogar sowas anderes machen, weil das immer zu machen. Nein? Wüsste ich aber. Wüsste ich aber, wüsste ich aber.
That a lot of the results would turn on whether or not that woman be a black woman. I never said that publicly because I don't think you ought to diminish your candidate.
Doch, eigentlich schon.
And when you ever tell a candidate what he must do in public,
Weird.
That diminishes the standing with the public. So I gave all my advice to him in private.
Genau, er ist auch super cool, weil über das, was ich gerade nutze, diese Software, sehe ich halt beide Chats in einem. Ha. Thank you for this conversation.
I know how to gauge that stuff.
Das noch 10.
Not just the barbershops. I have a way of living that keeps me in close contact with the black community. And let me tell you something. When you poll, these were exit polls.
Irgendein Reporter. Der auch die Internetverbindung verliert. Ist ja fast wie in Deutschland. Ich habe gestern ein Seminar gehabt und der Prof hat erstmal schön sein Mikro vom Headset unter die Nase gepackt. Nice. Das heißt, die ersten 10 Minuten, bis jemand gesagt hatte, konntest du nur sein Atmen hören. Ah ja, man sollte nicht von so weit oben springen. Du schreibst jetzt auf beiden, ja? Twitch und YouTube. Aber willst nicht, dass dein voller Name auf YouTube zu sehen ist.
Moments after you made that suggestion, what was his reaction?
Someone needs assistance. Someone needs assistance.
Well, he listened. He did not respond to me publicly. And of course,
warum hat der keine Lebensanzeige?
Of course, about 2 or 3 days before he made the announcement, he was still talking. And
alles klar.
and we concluded.
Viel Spaß.
My heart's in one direction, my head's in the other. Also, we're in private.
Das Ding. Danke.
And she can bring both of them together.
Which one was his heart and which one was his head, do you think?
I'm never going to tell that.
But you think you know the answer?
Bet you can't keep up with me.
I do know the answer. Yeah, I know what he said to me.
Ich hasse sowas.
Can you give us
Hierhin, dahin. Die können sich nie entscheiden, was sie wollen.
Well, let's look ahead. Well, first of all, let me just ask, have you spoken to President-elect Biden since the news today?
No, I've not spoken with him today. Quite frankly, I was going about my ordinary business. I was real nervous I was never nervous about Pennsylvania. But because of all the litigation, I wanted to see us do this with not having to need Pennsylvania. And I think we still may be there. But I was more nervous about Arizona than any other place. I don't know what the results have been.
You know how hard it's going to be because you've been in Congress for so long with either party, both parties in charge of either chamber. What is your best piece of advice for Joe Biden as he not only tries to reach across the aisle, but tries to navigate your caucus, where, as you know, based on the call that you had with House Democrats this week, there are a lot of progressives who want their voices heard, but a lot of people who represent moderate districts who want the leadership of the Democratic Party to listen to them as well.
Look, we've got a big tent, and we need to be respectful of each other. I understand all of us have got congressional districts that are different from the other congressional districts. I know a lot of people in the United States Congress that get elected overwhelmingly in their districts that cannot get elected in my district. And there are a lot of districts that I cannot get elected in. And that's what we have to keep in mind, that these congressional districts are different, and therefore people's pursuit of their political reactions and their votes, they're all going to be different. And if you learn anything about being a member of Congress, be in charge of the vote counting and see what you have to do in order to reconcile people's backgrounds and experiences to get the votes. And so I'm so tired of all of this progressive versus moderate. Let me tell you something if you got time. My father was a very conservative guy. He used to drill in our heads that if you make $1, son, save a nickel. If you leave the room, turn the lights out, conserve energy. But he was a minister. I never heard him ask his congregations for a conservative offering. He always asked for a liberal offering. So I learned early that conservatism is good in some instances, liberalism is good in other instances. Let's see, can we reconcile those things? This whole notion that I got to be your way or the highway, you better stop that. Our party is not made up of that kind of people. You know, we got, 55 African Americans in our caucus? And over on the Republican side, they've got one. And he's now gone. I don't know if they elected another one. So we don't have the same makeup of the caucus. And we've got to stop all this foolishness of if it's got to be my way and we got to put this in the bill or I'm not going to vote for it. Come on. That cannot be our future. If so, we're going to be back in the minority and we're going to be stuck in that minority for a long time. Let's respect each other's backgrounds, each other's congressional districts, and give people enough room to represent their districts.
Mr. Clyburn, the House Majority Whip, again, the man who endorsed Joe Biden in the South Carolina Democratic primary at a time where he needed that endorsement and gave him political life and ultimately the nomination and the presidency. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Without
what do you think of that?
Without Majority Whip Clyburn, today would not be happening.
Exactly.
Period. I mean, maybe a different Democrat would have won the nomination and gone on to win, or who knows. But Clyburn is responsible for the Biden presidency.
And for the folks, for the folks at home, he's also the guy who counts the votes in the House of Representatives. So he knows what he's talking about, and he's someone who now has I shouldn't say now. He is a well-respected Democrat and has been for a very long time, but he's in a position where his word and his voice about how Joe Biden navigates the next 4 years as president, navigates the Democratic caucus and the relationship with Republicans is going to carry a lot of weight. And it really matters, I think, Dana, what he said to you at the very end, which is that he wants the party to recognize that it is a coalition party that is made out of liberals and more conservative Democrats. And we should be clear, Jim Clyburn is a congressman from South Carolina. He represents a lot of black voters who are, many of them, more politically conservative than people think. So it is a party that is going to be an amalgamation of a lot of different views. And Joe Biden, it's not going to be easy for him to navigate that, but he's going to have to both deal with his own party and what we were discussing earlier, reach out to Republicans and figure that all out.
But he was warning the progressives in the party kind of on behalf of Joe Biden to, you know, not just go for everything, but understand that progress sometimes takes baby steps and sometimes takes compromise.
Yeah, look, and this is something that we haven't covered much this week because we've been more focused on who the president is going to be, but there is a lot of there's a civil war going on within the House Democratic Party right now. The House Democrats lost a lot of seats during this election, even though Joe Biden won. There are a lot of more moderate Democrats. There are a lot of more, well, they lost 4 seats, but they thought they were going to pick up.
They were going to gain.
I should have said they lost a lot of races. They thought they were going to gain about 10 or 15 seats, and they ended up losing 4. A lot of moderate Democrats that were very disappointed. And one of the reasons they were disappointed, and we heard this in the conference call that House Democrats had that was leaking in real time and being reported on by our colleague Manu Raju and others, is there were people like the Congresswoman from Virginia and others from more moderate districts complaining that AOC and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and other members of the so-called squad and others progressives who have done a tremendous amount to bring enthusiasm and ideas to the Democratic Party, but that some of their ideas, especially defunding the police and that notion, hurt Democrats, hurt them in races where the Republicans were able to tie the Democrats to socialism, to the idea of defunding the police. And that was a little speech. He wasn't talking to you.
No, he was definitely not talking to
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and AOC and Rashida Tlaib and others.
Which he said privately on that phone call this week. And the fact that he took the chance that we gave him to say it publicly, I thought was very, very telling.
But he's also been saying this for quite some time. I remember this summer during the George Floyd protests, he was very clear. Defund the police is not a message that Democrats should adopt or that would work for many Democrats across the country. He was crystal clear about that. And this is a man who was himself involved in the civil rights movement back in the 1960s. So he's not just saying that because he's been looking from his ivory tower in Washington. I also think that when Joe Biden said yesterday, when he came out and spoke, that we have a mandate, we were talking about it in the context of a mandate to lead the entire country. But I also think that he has a mandate to lead the Democratic Party specifically in a particular direction. He had to navigate a lot of minefields in this general election, including this issue of defund the police, including some of these other tricky issues where he had to be somewhere between not alienating the left and not being seen as overly central or not alienating, the suburban part of the country that he was trying to win back. And he did that.
He achieved it.
And so that path that he carved out in the general election, they're going to have to figure out a way to turn that into a governing principle that can help him navigate these minefields that he'll face immediately.
He did a skillful job of threading the needle, of not alienating the progressives, where the energy is in the party, and not alienating the suburbs of Philadelphia, where he needed the votes.
Yeah, and where he got
the votes. He did an able job of threading the needle. I will also say that if he had been running against a less ham-handed opponent, I mean, Donald Trump would go out there and say, Cory Booker is going to invade your neighbor. I mean, like it wasn't. They weren't even dog whistles. It was bullhorn racist tropes, and like making Cory Booker, Senator Booker, the poster child of it. Cory Booker's not exactly Willie Horton.
But President Trump, I mean, look, President Trump got his people out.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
But he didn't win over the suburban ones.
He did not win over the suburban. But his theory of this election was that if Trump has his own people, and if he brings enough of them out, he can win. He got somewhat close, but obviously it was not enough. I do think that there is a choice facing Republicans now about what you're saying, which is, is that message a ham-handed message, or is it the best we've got?
Yeah.
I don't know that they fully settled on what the answer to that is.
I think if you give truth serum to Republican elected leaders, most of them, they will say it's not the best they've got. that it's maybe the opposite of the best they've got on that. One thing I want to say, just going back to the whole, the comments that Mr. Clyburn just made about, progressives and moderates, and how he doesn't like those terms, and everyone has to just figure out how to deal together. We know how hard that is going to be.
I don't like those terms.
we know how hard it's going to be.
Come on.
I mean, listen, you allow him to say what he wants. He does want to try to figure out a way to lead the entire party. But what I want to say is that I got a text earlier today, I believe it was, from a very progressive member of Congress who was reminding me, as we were talking about black voters and how black voters came out, but also progressive young voters, people of color in urban centers, that was, when we dissect these votes after this election is over and we can have time to do that, that the increase in the voter share for Joe Biden, this member of Congress believes, is going to show that really helped push him into the presidency, and that those voters and the leaders of those voters, progressive lawmakers, are going to have high expectations that their voices be heard, and that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, it is true that Joe Biden could not have won the presidency without progressive Democrats who see themselves in the AOCs and the Ilhan Omars of the world.
Yep.
And I know that Jim Clyburn also knows that is true too. But there has to be a negotiation here. I think what those young voters said in this election by coming out for someone who is their polar opposite in a lot of ways, an older, white standard bearer of the old guard, is that they are willing to engage in the political process because it's affected their lives. And so I think on some level there's maybe a silver lining here, which is that if young people came out for Joe Biden, it's because they believe that they know that there is going to have to be some kind of compromise. It's not because Joe Biden said to them, I'm going to be, the far left leader that you've always wanted. I'm going to be contrary to what the president said, he is not going to be a Bernie Sanders light. That is just not who Joe Biden has been for his political life.
And let me just also say, first of all, the progressives did a ton to win this presidency, as you're saying, for Joe Biden. First of all, Ilhan Omar, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, was door knocking.
Yep.
Her seat was safe. She was door knocking to
after
get people.
After a tough primary, I should say.
After a tough primary.
Yep.
Her seat was safe. She was door knocking to get people to vote in Minnesota, to get progressives to get her people to the polls to vote for Joe Biden, so that Minnesota would not be in play, as people thought it would be several months ago. AOC is one of the stars of the Democratic Party, period. And when I had her on State of the Union before the election, she was more disciplined and able than almost any politician I'd interviewed in the previous few months.
Important interview.
In terms of her acknowledgement of where she disagreed with Joe Biden on issues like the Green New Deal, et cetera, and also the fact that Joe Biden was, in her view, the absolute only choice.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
She said she wanted the privilege of having to worry about.
Yes, exactly.
To lobby him.
The privilege to lobby him.
So nobody should. Oh, look at this huge turnout in Washington D.C. outside the White House. Just people celebrating Joe Biden's victory. A lot of relieved people, a lot of happy people. a lot of anti-Trump people, a lot of pro-Biden people. Biden-Harris count the votes, you see.
And luckily, a lot of masks.
And a lot of masks. We're seeing a lot of masks, which is good, although the crowds, according to public health officials, not so good. But
correct.
The masks are good. In any case, what I was going to say is nobody should treat the progressives as if they're a pain, because they are a vital part of the Democratic coalition, period.
Correct.
But that said, there is a reckoning going on, because some of the things that were said, especially when it comes to defunding the police, there are more moderate Democrats that think that it made their coalition, their majority, smaller. And look, this is Minneapolis. They are social distancing while celebrating in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's what's going to happen. There's going to be some fighting about this stuff in the Democratic caucus, you know, we heard some warning shots from Congressman Clyburn just then.
And just on what you were talking about Ilhan Omar, even though she didn't have a real race, that she was knocking on doors. Pramila Jayapal, the co-chair of the Progressive Caucus, she represents Washington. She didn't have a real race, and yet she is part of an organization. She has an organization where they go out and they train people to knock on doors in battleground states all over. That is a very, very vital part of the progressive movement that we were just talking about, that allowed this moment to happen, that fueled this moment.
So Senator Mitt Romney, who ran for president and lost to Barack Obama and Joe Biden in 2012, just tweeted, "Ann and I extend our congratulations to President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. We know both of them as people of goodwill and admirable character. We pray that God may bless them in the days and years ahead." Let's bring in Susan Rice, who was the National Security Advisor didn't mean to surprise you there, Dr. Rice. First of all, get your reaction. You worked with Joe Biden in the Obama-Biden administration. You have been campaigning for him, endorsing him, doing everything you could to get him elected. Your reaction to this moment?
I'm joyous. I'm grateful to the American people. I'm thanking God, and I'm grateful to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for being who they are. They are exactly what our country needs now. We need competence. We need decency. We need honesty. And we need to come together. And that's what they represent. I know this is a painful moment for many who wish for a different outcome. I'm living in a household with some of them. But at this moment, I believe that we have an extraordinary opportunity to move this country forward, to reclaim our leadership in the world, and to address
leadership
so many
in the world. I love that phrase.
Fundamental challenges we face, from COVID to the economy, to education, to healthcare, to racial justice, and climate change. And this is the moment we have to do so, and we have to heal in the process.
I want to ask you about your son is a somewhat notable conservative figure in the country, and I want to ask you about his disappointment in a second. But I do also want to first ask you, if you don't mind, as a black woman, we now have a black woman vice president-elect. It has never happened in the history of this country, and I'm just wondering if you could. I know you prefer to talk policy and you prefer to talk politics, but and national security. But I'm just wondering if you'll indulge me and our viewers, as a black woman, what does this moment mean to you?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It brings tears to my eyes and joy to my heart. And my, almost 18-year-old daughter feels thrilled. I know they're young.
I think I can't access Spyrovis right now. I have to be level 20, I guess? Ooh, I'm excited about level 20 for
I could not be more proud of Kamala Harris and all that she represents for all of us. This is it's a historic, groundbreaking moment.
obviously,
Because I want to have
a
Yang.
moment for tens of millions of Americans, especially those who before today had never seen someone like them, a woman of color represented in a president or vice president. And we should acknowledge that that this is a moment of great joy and celebration. As for the
celebration,
okay, where do we go next? I mean,
yeah, in terms of the experiment of America and the promise of America.
Could do this abyss match thing.
Joe Biden is expected to give his first speech this evening as president-elect. You're someone in a household where
Just do the main
I know
quest,
you a
I
little
guess.
bit, and I know your family a little bit, and there are Trump supporters in your family and Biden supporters in your family. What does Joe Biden need to say to start unifying the country?
Well, I must say, not just for my son, but others in my family and universe who have different political views. I'm really proud of my son today. He's an American first, like I am. He believes in this country, and he also wants to see us move forward in unity, as disappointed as he may be. And we are family first, and always will be. And this is a moment where we all need to look to the future and heal. And I believe that's what he believes as well. So we're together today. We're one household, and we're one country. And we got to remember that just as in a family, in a country, we have so much more in common than that which divides us. And we've got to find that fundamental truth together as to who we are and what we can be. We can't survive divided. We can only be strong and safe and prosperous if we come together. And this is a moment where, on a very personal level and on a national level, even on a global level, we have to recognize and embrace
Even
that
the underground
reality.
networks rarely come across any information on them.
Space for celebration, there is some risk to it because President Trump has not conceded, and obviously we want to give him time to process the information coming his way, fast and furious. But he's also out there claiming once again that he actually won the election.
Why exactly do you need the help of mere humans?
Damn.
How do I
Sassy pun. Sassy Pieman, man.
The 7 each are only in performing this duty. Go forth and establish.
Jean, you're maybe.
Just gonna skip all of this. I'm sorry.
I haven't been back to Mondstadt for an extended period of time. Without a doubt, I am now the weakest.
Oh, such... But we have tracked the Abyss Mage to the vicinity of the...
I cannot stress enough how important it is to not...
I will do my best, dear Jean. I will do my best.
How awful.
The Dawn Winery's wines are all unique.
Let's use the teleport. I won't walk there. I'm gonna waste my time. Aua.
Power that ended Python.
I need to kill him first. Otherwise he's going to heal the Abyss Mage all the time.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Okay, that one Cryo Abyss Mage, he's dead once in life. Not Cryo Abyss Mage. The Cryo Archer. Okay, nice.
Huh?
That was a
After
quick
the
one.
Abyss Mage was defeated, it seems that energy was being used to cut off the... Do you know if Storm Terror's like... Of course. After Dvalin, as it was with the storms, but now, as the energy dispersed from the Abyss Mage, I must admit, it should be enough to let us...
Which means we're going to confront... I'm fine with that. Jean is the one who wishes...
No. If slaying him is our only choice, I will gladly become the knight that leads...
Fortunately, we have yet to need...
By that...
I mean that the Holy Law... Our real trump card?
But the Traveler...
Well, you could say that. You're definitely a force to be reckoned with. But you... The impure... Which...
You've seen what Devon is like when he's
Hey, nice plan.
I am with you.
How?
Humans aren't without their strengths.
And some epic actions of brave heroes finally leads to this 11th hour.
How much XP do I need to... Okay. Not that much anymore. I just want Xiangling, you know? Oh. I didn't see you, my friend. He's a big boy. The main characters, yeah, I love that shit. Just press E and do a couple of auto attacks and easy. Nice. Just want a lot of animal sigils. Just for the prototype. Because I want the spear for Xiangling. I don't know how many spears I have, or what spears I have. Let's take a look. Okay, I have this one. Crits. Particles, okay, that, it's okay-ish. This one. Against the slimes. And then we only have swords left. And there's one that gives attack damage on auto attacks. I want that one. Brum. There was another one. Oh. Okay. So we have to kill Storm Terror now. Not now. It will still take some time, but soon-ish. Always try to get higher ground, you know? Higher ground, so you can see chests and stuff like this. And I bet with you, behind that wall, there's a chest. Oh, that's a chest here already. If you don't know what to do, just hold your E as the main character, as the animal main character. Told you there's going to be a chest. Okay, that's just some ashes left, cold ashes. There's a cryo archer, a crossbow man. Is this a crossbow man or is this a crossbow he did show? Who the fuck knows? There aren't as many chests as I thought there would be. Huh. Okay, there's another challenge. There's Animerpg there.
To ashes.
Nice, some more adventure rank XP. There's another chest. Nice. Is there another chest around here? Not that I can see one.
It's a storm barrier.
It's a storm barrier.
Although I don't need the liar to break through this.
Ooh.
Enemy attack! Prepare!
Prepare. We have D-Look, we have the honorary knight, and they all run.
Such chores are not the concerns of the performer himself.
Like,
What's going on? Any hilly troll camps in the vicinity of Storm Terror's lair.
like for real. Oh, wow.
Steady as stone.
Come on, bitch. Oh, it's such annoying. Okay, let me kill the other ones first. This one, for example. Thank you for your contribution. Oh, wow. To adventure rank. No. Champion character XP. There are no champions in this game.
The hilly trolls usually do not venture. It puts a heavy burden.
The Abyss Order, I presume.
Without further ado, I suppose I can play faster if my only audience is the wind.
I'm confused. Easy.
This is it.
Smooth as fuck, that man. That kid? Is it a man? Is it a kid? I don't know. I didn't listen to the story. I mean, he's basically more a kid than a man. But maybe he's a man in a children's body? I always try to use my elemental side just to find chests and stuff like this.
Back at ya.
It was faster than I thought.
Looks like this is the front gate to Storm Terror's lair.
Let's just go the straightforward way.
Compared to us. But still,
Though there's so much
how Devon gets in there with a body
seen already 2 or 3 chests.
He doesn't walk.
We'll explore it later.
Oh. You do have a point.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
It's stuck.
Turn to the fact that we need to communicate.
It's stuck.
Hey, check out that. Let's make a detour then.
Let's make a detour then. Heading up.
Do you think there will be abyss mages hiding in the ruins? Either way, if we do run into one, we will let the victorious Master Dealers do the...
Do not underestimate them just because I have beaten one of them before.
Okay, before we gonna do this,
Saying there is more to the abyss
I need to take those chests. I can't leave them there. I'm addicted, okay? I'm addicted to chests.
And also for your safety. Why am I so diligent? Too diligent for a poet,
Okay,
in
but
fact.
I leave the other ones. I leave here the other
So
ones.
says the person that made
This
zero
one was
effort to
right in
search
front
for
of
the
my
dragon
nose, so
tears
I had to
and
take
drink in
it.
the tavern all day. Paimon doesn't get it. What part of you is remotely diligent?
Ooh, see? That's how you have to react if you see a chest. With a smooth... Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
No one escapes my sights.
Which elemental reaction deals the most damage? It is Overload, isn't it? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Don't let me walk that shit again. I just wanted that Zeli. And then now there's... Oh, there... Oh, okay, I could have used the wind current. Because this is another chest. You know what it means. Wow. What the fuck? What the fuck? That situation reminded me of Begone Thought. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Can I push him into this wall? I can push him into the wall, but is he going to take damage? Didn't seem like it. This, you see how many chests are here? Yeah. This was a time when the bar and then the experience bar moved after you opened the chest. No,
Look, a wheel
it's not
turret.
like this anymore.
It might lead us to the top of the tower.
Okay, nice. Do we have... Nah, we don't have any animals. Nope. Nope. Okay, nothing near. Okay. Why do we have to put a sigil around it if landing next to it opens that shit? Hello, Lungard. Don't mind me.
Oh, we can't advance any further. The ruins seem to be guarded by ancient seals.
Is this the work of...
No. These ruins were once part of an... These ruins even predate the existence of... Mondstadt is a city it was ruled over. Anyway.
The markings on this seal. If my archaeological knowledge is not mistaken, this appears to be a light act. If we retrieve and reintegrate all the parts, we should be able to get it working.
We should be close to let's put the last part back and see.
I guess that one part is the important one. Cool. High chest. See? Hey. Obviously, that one thing made the difference.
Looks like we're right.
Which means I can see one from here.
I'm confused. As if you can't. Okay.
The rest.
I forgot there are more around. No.
He doesn't.
Then we will get at least our 10 missing XP for Xiangling. Is it like that? That reaching level 20 automatically unlocks her? I don't know. Oh. I missed that one before. Market. Then we will go On some chests. I'm not a monster hunter. I'm a chest hunter. Like that one. And that one. Another one. And another one. So many chests, it's like heaven. It really is like heaven.
Windblade.
Oh, I hate this one. So sometimes they're just hard to hit. Never mind. But using a bow is useless. At least they die real quick, you know? Nice, we level 20. Battle pass, okay. We don't need to be concerned about the battle pass since it ends now. Ah, we will get Barbara? I thought, oh, when did I get Xing Ling? You get her, don't you? I don't even know.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Xiangling. I'm a chef
Oh yeah,
from
complete
Liyue.
for 3, chamber 3. Gonna do this, I think.
Once there was a glorious
Oh,
kingdom
another.
established among the heavens.
No, I don't like
From
this.
that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out the Genesis Pearl from the kingdom of darkness. The first crowned heir began her journey of seeking the pearl. But she was deceived, and the memory of her noble origins faded. She now believed that she was the queen of the kingdom of darkness. But take heart. A second crowned heir had already taken up the path where the first had stumbled. This is the story of your journey, of your tale to be told.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. Battle pass period 2 days. Nice. Let's do some Spiral Abyss, I guess. Let's try to get Xing as fast as possible. I don't want to bother with the other ones. Ah, true, my word level increased. Ooh, we can ascend her. Let's do so. Can we ascend you? No, we need 25. Yeah, let's switch. So much HP and death. Disgusting. Wait. Oh, there it is. Initiating warp drive. Welcome to year 3000.
I must leave no stone unturned. Time to clean up.
Now we see that our world rank greatly increase. We do no damage.
Take this! Eyes on me!
Let's level Beidou up. We need her on level 44. Say it. Spiribus. Nice. I love iron chunks. To unlock it first, I think. Spiribus. But now I don't care about stars, I just care about Xiangling. I mean, like, this is not that hard. Or it shouldn't be. Let's phrase it like this, it shouldn't be that hard. Let's go with Elemental Mastery for the E and swallow damage.
No escape.
I think I'm gonna level up Ember. So I want this this account to be fun.
Prepare to be blown away. No one escapes my sight. Windblade.
3 stars already. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I must leave no stone unturned.
does so much damage. And my Beidou ultimate.
Let it rain. Prepare to be blown away.
I think this won't be 3 stars.
Back off. Take this.
Oh, was it? Nah, it wasn't. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. I hope there was. It was really close, wasn't it? It was like 2 seconds. 2 seconds-ish. Damage. Take this one.
Steady. Be gone. Are you here to play with me? No escape. Leave it up to me as a dutiful maid would. Someone needs assistance.
Easy. Oh man, Spiribus early is so easy. Not for real. I didn't take a look what to expect in Spiribus Floor 2. I didn't take a look, so I have no clue.
Prepare to be blown away.
Oh, they're already level 40.
Bet you can't keep up with me. No one escapes my sights. Leave it all to me.
That's what I have to do more often. Ignite them.
I'll race you there.
And then use my MCC.
Steadiest. Windblade. Time to clean up.
Ooh, no L with attack speed. I wish attack speed was another, say it, attribute you can actually get with artifacts. Imagine having some attack speed on Diluc or what else. What else is there, and it's actually pretty fun.
No escape.
ultimate lasts not long. Definitely doesn't. I take A just for this. Ooh, he jumps over my attacks. Okay.
Leave it all to me.
How often do I need to apply pyro to them so they stay pyro? Does anyone know? Oh, I like the slimes. Officially don't like no team comp.
Windblade. I must leave. I'll catch up.
Because I need long. I don't have the damage right now. Amber could deal so much more damage. It's time then.
No one escapes my sights.
Ooh, not even 1 star.
Steady us.
I just want to clear Spiral Beast 3. That's the only reason why I do this right now. The only reason. I don't care about the rewards. I just want Xiangling. I'm confused. Ooh, now I have to defend this one, wasn't it? And keep the monolith.
Power that ended Python. I must leave no. As a good knight should. Windblade. No escape. Windblade.
No, the one dude is sitting.
Back at ya.
done too. Chamber, it's only chamber 2, so there's another one coming to us.
Steady as stone.
Challenge complete. Remaining challenge time longer than some seconds. Okay. Guess we have to kill you first.
Prepare to be blown away.
We cause overload. Crystallize. For the heals. Swirl. No, overload again. No, oh. Why? Too damn. Why couldn't be an ice one? Thing is, I don't have damage against water.
It's a good night shield.
Crystallize deals at least some damage.
They still need me.
Oh! Okay, I'm stupid. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay. I thought somehow it would deal more damage. Okay, let's kill one first.
Prepare to be blown away.
Okay, I ran into that bubble. We didn't. Didn't use any swirl. That's why I said leave for now. I want to see how far we got. And level up my Ember too. She doesn't deserve this. Damage against weak spots. What other weapon do we have? With this one. Defining enemy restores 8 HP. Could also do this one. Increases damage affected by Hydro or Pyro, and I mean, I don't know. Let's just keep it the way it is. We didn't. I forgot what we need 6. Say it. We need 6 stars. Damn, I didn't think I would have to say it. Do the run again.
Let it rain. I'll race you there. I'll race you there. No one escapes my sight. I must leave no. Go, Barret Bite.
Ah, no. I did this so fast on my main account. Because I had D-Look. That makes sense.
Time to clean up. Someone needs assistance.
Ooh, swell damage increased. Damn, by 300%. Okay, nice. Swell damage increased by 300%. Nice, that's really nice. Limit burst damage, attack. Push them all down.
Windblade. No escape. Leave it all to me. Back at ya. Prepare to be blown away. Windblade. As a dutiful maid would. I'll catch up. I'll catch up.
Another test subject. That tingle?
To ashes.
That tingle?
Leave it all to me. Windblade.
I got careless. Have a
Prepare to
little
be blown
taste.
away.
Another test subject. Another test subject. The wrong test subject.
Go, bear.
Suffocate. Come again. Suffocate.
No escape.
Suffocate.
I must leave no stone unturned.
I take more damage when I want.
I got careless.
Be gone.
It's a fury. Another test subject.
I must leave no stone unturned.
To ashes. The wrong test subject. Freeze.
Windblade.
I got careless. Freeze.
Get him.
Freeze.
Leave it a time to clean up.
Freeze. That tingle. Freeze.
Yep. Back off.
Freeze.
Windblade.
The wrong test subject.
Yeah.
That tingle. I got the wrong test subject. The wrong test subject.
No escape. Bet you can't. Windblade. Yeah. I'll race you there.
Fry. Fry. test subject.
Only 1 star.
I'll race you there. Bet you can't keep up with. Leave it up to me. As a dutiful maid would. Go, go, let it rain. Steady as stone. Get him. I'll race you there. Power that ended my stop. Prepare to be blown away. Let it rain. That's cheating. Windblade. Get him. Back at ya. Back off.
Damn.
Back at ya. Bet you can't. Windblade, be gone. Let it rain. Power that ended fight. Back off. Windblade.
What do you mean? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, right now I'm oh, now it should be the red screen again. Oh, it had been that screen then for a while. Damn. I'm trying out the Restream IO site you sent me. And yeah. But now it should be fine again, shouldn't be? Damn. Because on YouTube it had been fine all the time. Good job that you are here. My lifesaver as always. How you doing? Ah, okay. I think if I press this button, it will switch again. It doesn't.
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Dark Super is your friend. I don't know Dark Super. Who's Dark Super? Ah, in Discord. I didn't look into the Discord for a while. For 2 hours maybe. Thanks, mate. He just has to come to the stream, subscribe, either on YouTube or leave me like or follow on Twitch. So, where is he? Where is he at?
Cold beer after a hard day's work. Nothing like it.
Dark Super. But it apparently works streaming on Twitch and on YouTube.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is
Nice. No, I have Xiangling. I wanted Xiangling for a while. Xiangling. My name is Xiangling. Because I want to make a main on this account. Six max. No, not like these, but more like these. Nice. Now we can ascend her. Easy. And we level up. How was your Saturday? Wait, I don't have enough books. That's sad. Or we start not having enough books. Okay, what do we do? I think we would just do this one. Pavonius Nance crits have a 6% chance. Or let's just take the adventure rank. And then we'll take a look on what we can craft in the smith. Ooh, swap prototype. Guess that's the one. I guess, I don't know. Can we level up talents already? No, we can't. So, can we... I don't know how. Because we don't have anything good right now. Okay, this one. Ooh, crit damage. This one is good. With this one on Amber, but fuck Amber. Or should we go Berserker one then? I mean, it's HP, but yeah. Ooh, animal damage. Equip. Crit damage. We don't have a lot, a lot of crit damage, so crit rate. So attack. So right now we have this. Huh. It's kind of weird, but I guess that's the thing we have to go for right now. Basically nothing. I mean, we have some crit damage, but crit rate? No, crit rate's garbage. Actually garbage. Let me do some Leylands real quick. Or one Leyland real quick. I want to have it on level 40. And not waste resin. Focusing on Xiangling now, I think. 40 is good for and there's also good 40 for things we can't reach. So, but I'm not gonna invest more into other characters. We're gonna wait for the patch in 3 days. Bin am Lot. Ah. Naja, solange der Samstag in Ordnung war. Beziehungsweise, was meint Loken bei euch in der Schweiz? Lass uns das mal erstmal abklären. Look at that damage. Because she sets such a high attack speed. Baby looks powerful as well. Ooh. I have to kill this one first. Those Abyss Mages are... I don't like them. Look at this enemy there. He's just dying because he still stands still in fire. Oh, the fire is now out. Idiots. 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 I have to kill them now, so they don't act as stupid anymore. They can't hurt themselves. Rather die due to another one's doing instead of dying because you're just stupid. Isn't it? Makes sense, doesn't it? Nah, I want to look this up. Martial artist enhance 6 artifacts to level 4. We can do this already. Now let's just kill the Warden first. Yeah, no back. Where's your friend? Hmm? He's not in the stream yet. Okay. Let's put on some music, I guess. Without music, it's kind of quiet in the background. So, please, guys, you decide. EDM, hip hop, or something chill, or a mix of them. What do you want to hear? I actually don't care. So that's why I'm asking you. So many chests. That was a quick one. That was a quick one. I need to level up the ultimate of not the ultimate, the weapon machine. That's why she deals no damage right now. Or not enough damage, let's say, not enough.
Back off!
Take this!
There's the one thing we need to connect now, and then I have to do 2 more, I guess. It's 3. Why can't it be just 1? Na, Wolle? Hamda? Jetzt weißt du, wie ich aussehe. Jetzt weiß ich, wie ich aussehe. Fettsack geworden, weißt du? Fett geworden. So war ich. So bin ich erst seit kurz. Wie geht's dir? Wie geht's dir, Wolle? Jetzt muss ich nur noch dich sehen.
Wow, this light actuating ceremony does work magic.
Sehr unfair.
It looks like one of the 3 halos above is
I demand a picture, okay?
Let's start looking for the next puzzle.
Mir geht sowas nicht. Easy. Jetzt geht's hier besser, sehr gut. Freut mich zu hören. Höre ich selten, dass mein Anblick es schafft, dass es Leuten besser geht. Danke dir. That was the best thing I've heard today. Okay. Das Ding spackt rum. 10 out of 10. Danke dir. Danke dir. In meinen Vorstellungen bist du auch 10 out of 10. Wie lief denn deine Ranks heute? Du hast doch Safe Rank gespielt heute. Schon Pressure, aber du musst mir auch nie ein Bild schicken, so, weißt du. Kannst du sagen, kannst du mal irgendwas erfinden, so, ja, Kamera kaputt, oder, ja, hier, Oma will nicht, dass ich Bilder im Internet verschicke. Ah, typische League-Erfahrung, heißt sie. Tschüss, Junge, die! Das Ding stirbt einfach nicht. What the fuck? Ja, jetzt spinnt es auch noch. Speed of Beyblade? Ja. Ah, okay. Danke dir. Dann müssen wir jetzt markieren. I want to put on some music. Forgot. Some copy-free music from Stream Beats. Probably sounds like shit, but who cares? Okay. Ja. Ah. Ich wollte die Waffe von Zhang Ling leveln. Vergessen. Wenn man Englisch und Deutsch reden muss zur gleichen Zeit. Schrecklich. Oof, this takes ages, man. Takes way too long. Okay, danke. Ich mag das nicht. Stream Beats. Time to die, motherfucker. Aua. Ah, na. Nicht sterben. Ah. Ohne Stamina runterzuspringen ist nicht die klügste Art und Weise zu sterben. Oder die geilste Art und Weise, sagen wir so. Da gibt es bessere Arten. Naja. Thema US-Wahl. Endlich. Fuck Trump. Aber mal sehen, was jetzt passieren wird in den USA. Aber fuck Trump, Mann. It. I hate those small fucking... Nah. mich um Großen kümmern.
Eyes on me. Back off.
Ah, es wird knapp, es wird knapp. Ah. Okay, fuck die Challenge. Na. Kein Bock jetzt auf so einen Kack. Kiste. Kiste. Ja, wo sind die Dinger? Es ist erstaunlich, wie viel man von dem schon gemacht hat. Also ich habe ja alles davon schon gemacht, aber wie viel man davon wieder vergisst. Stupid. Ah, da hinten sind die Dinger. Wow. Okay, Shane did no damage right now. Okay. Auch nur Level 20. Ah, ich hab Hunger. Ich mach gleich eine Pause. Dann gibt's was zu essen.
Hey, there's something strange over there. Come on, let's take a look.
Yeah, I'll finish this quest and then head off probably. Okay. We need to climb for that shit. And climbing without stamina. There are better things in life than this. I wonder if I could have been faster by picking up 3 at once. I don't know if it works. Picking up 3 at once. Okay, let's look for a way. We can get up there. Bitte nicht. Bitte nicht hier. Solche schlechten Witze bitte nicht hier. Please don't. Bitte nicht. Nicht hier auch noch. Nicht hier auch noch. Okay, okay. Ich höre die sonst schon so oft. Aber außerdem hast du mir den schon mal erzählt, glaube ich. Glaube ich weiß es nicht, ich bin mir nicht sicher. Aber doch, oder? Oder ich habe mir von irgendeiner anderen Person gehört, die keinen guten Humor hat. Kann auch sein. Where can I get up there? I don't know where to get up.
Get ready for the gliding champ.
Ah. Ah, I'm missing that one. Oof. Thought it will only be 3, but no. It has to be 4. Richtig unauffällig. This quest only. It takes so long, it's a long quest. But I'm excited for Wednesday when we'll have way more to do, but nah. I still have Spanish class in the morning from 9 to 1 o'clock. Fucking unfortunate. Look at them bastards. Just standing here while I have to do all that damn shit for them. Fat fox. Brauchst du mir dann auch nicht über Discord schicken, deine schlechten Witze. Aber na gut. Kannst du auch im Chat posten, vielleicht findet sie ja irgendjemand witzig. Nice. Ah yeah, you can't take more than one, okay. I see. Maybe for the next account, which is not going to happen, but maybe for that one I will mind. Oh no. Don't teleport me back, please. I want to unlock that teleporter. Please don't teleport me back. Don't force me. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't need cinematics. No, we kill the drake and then we gone.
I'm thinking about turning these adventures into songs after we're done.
Cool.
Hopefully this song will be sung for years to come by the—
I have loved that song. How are you feeling? I am completely prepared and fully confident.
Even Master D-Luke, despite advice.
You sure?
As for Master Jean, what about the tone?
It's freedom.
Freedom?
When you first arrived at Mondstadt, did no one tell you that Mondstadt... She really is a... Mondstadt and its citizens...
Don't talk that much, please.
He has the right... Event? Well then, Traveler. Just like the last time, I shall channel Anim...
Oh, no!
He's always talking too much. All the damn fucking time. This will be a good song. Wait, no rewards? Scam. Actually scam. There have to be rewards. They have to. Otherwise would be a scam, man.
Look! There are two shiny spots on Dvalin's back. They appear to be poisonous blood clots that have coagulated on his wounds. The Abyss Order must have cursed the wounds. That's what's corrupting Dvalin's mind. To save Dvalin, we're going to have to get rid of those blood clots.
Some Call of Duty. Why are these missions so boring?
Dvalin is getting away.
God damn, look at this guy.
Just hold on a bit longer.
Look at this guy. I wish we could see this in our world. We can, but not in cities. Wish we could see them in cities. Them stars. Do I even take damage if they hit me? A little bit.
I'll extract and condense the pure animal from the shots being fired. Shattering them will create acceleration currents. I can't control where they will appear, so keep your eyes peeled.
Such a boring mission, man. Especially this part. Do nothing. You can tank every hit because they don't do damage. Oh damn. I suck. Ah. I'm so bad. Stand still, motherfucker. Oh, nah. Oof. At least this mission looks cool. But otherwise... Nah. Such a boring mission, man. Always good that you can always access the battle pass. Oh. Sometimes he's switching the scenes without any reason. I have to look up hotkeys. Maybe it's not set up. Thank God. Let's take a look at the hotkeys. 6, F4, F5. Ah, okay. No. Whenever I open the battle pass, he's going to switch scenes. And that sucks. Can't open the battle pass then.
Now we can fight Dvalin on equal grounds. The grandest bard is here to help. But first, let me be clear. Even after hundreds of years without use, Dvalin's teeth and claws are still very dangerous.
No! Ah! This hurts. Damn. I didn't look where I'm going. No! Fuck. Oh shit. I didn't look. I should look more often.
The wind currents and stay away from the breaking platforms. The energy flooding out from the fissures will be hot. Be sure to watch your steps. Blood clot on his neck. Nice and spicy.
Ah, finally. Finally.
This place is gonna collapse!
Finally.
It's been a while since we flew like this together. Huh, Dvalin?
Just now. Why? Why did you not ask me to protect you like the last time?
Me not wanting you to listen to the Abyss Order doesn't mean that you have to listen to me. Freedom, if demanded of you by an Archon.
There's no skip button.
Is this the power of the Animal Archon? But I am no longer part of the Four Winds.
Even if that's so, you still protected us regardless. Now spread your wings of freedom and go with my blessing.
And so, the Storm Terror threat was quelled. I clarified the misunderstanding to the citizens of Mondstadt and let them know that they are safe. To them, it seems Storm Terror attacked Mondstadt out of nowhere and then vanished just as quickly. They must be finding the whole ordeal very confusing.
However, winds change their course.
Please.
Someday,
Let me
we will
skip.
go towards a brighter future.
Let me skip.
I'm always ready.
Oh, thanks. Oh no. It goes on.
You guys are back! The honorary knight returns? Yep.
Oof.
You just I wonder if I'll ever get an opportunity. You're right, and this time... You're welcome! Of course not. Just because I'm not out on the front line doesn't mean I... Aftermath. Well, not fortunately... Oh, yeah! Exactly. And if we I know, our best... They've taken it! That's right. There's no time like the... You bet! Awesome! Wait for me!
Ooh. Okay, guys, I'm gonna head off. See you tomorrow or whenever I'm in the mood to stream. Yalla, bye.